Welcome back to the musings of an old Maverick. Welcome back to the archives of my life. Hey, today I got to tell you something really interesting. All right, this happened sometime when I was probably 7 years old. So I was selected to run my first ever event in sports in school. So I was at this event field, sports field, and I was sitting on the start line with a packet of dates, munching away to glory. When all of a sudden, other sports kids like me got into their lanes, and then there was this PT master who came and said, "Hey, Anand, get onto your lane right now. You're going to shoot the gun and you're going to run." I said, fine. With all that hurry-burry, I just left my dates on the floor and ran onto the start line. Got ready to take off. And then this gun goes boom. And there I took off like a rocket. All the way down to the finish line. Now, when I reached the finish line, I was the first to reach there. My biggest concern was those packet of dates I left behind at the start line. So I did a quick turnaround and rocketed all the way back to the start line. Now here's the fun thing. My dad happened to see that. And he came back home to his Anglo-Indian wife and told her, "Rose, your son can beat the wind when he runs." And that's when an absolutely new activity began for me every morning. My father used to work in a factory as a factory worker, 3 kilometers away from home. So he had his window at 5:30 in the morning. 5:30 would mean either he's finishing his night shift or beginning his day shift. So it was mandatory for him to be on his hero cycle and me jogging beside him 3 kilometers all the way from home to his factory, and then me jogging all the way back alone. And this could go either way. If it's his night shift, I would be required to jog all the way 3 kilometers down to his factory, and then he would cycle all the way back home with me. And this opened up a beautiful plethora of activities for me in sports. Those 6 kilometers became 10 kilometers, became 20 kilometers, became 50-kilometer marathons. I started competing in all the athletic events in my school sports, in my college sports. I became an amazing swimmer, speed skater, basketball captain, and I was so involved in the world of sports till I started working in the corporate world. But this is what I learned. This is what I want to share with you. This is what I learned in the world of sports. That is the only world where you actually learn how to lose. And you lose with a lot of dignity. If you had to lose out in your class exams, you lose out a year. And you're always laughed at. If you lose out in your exams in college, you lose out a year. If you lose out amongst your friends and family, you become a loser. You're termed as a loser. If you lose out in your office, you get sacked. But it is only in the world of sports where you actually learn how to lose valiantly, bravely, and with enormous amount of dignity. So let me share three things that I learned in my life as a sportsman. One is, you always have another opportunity to win every time you lose. And that's the most exciting thing about life. No matter how often you lose in life, you will always get another day to win. So be happy, be hopeful, have faith that this loss is just not a loss, that you have an opportunity to win again. Don't give up. The second most important thing I learned was you're going to learn to compete exclusively with your own abilities. Usain Bolt didn't become the world's fastest runner by competing with others. He just kept competing with the Hussein Bolt he was yesterday. Life, let me tell you, has a lovely series of benchmarks to achieve, to conquer in your pursuit of excellence. And each benchmark should be your own benchmark. And you keep beating your own benchmark every day as you compete with the person that you were yesterday. That's the second most important thing that I learned out of sports. And the third thing, oh, this is going to blow your mind. The third thing is there is nothing, believe me, nothing called failure. It is just a lot of ways we discover that don't make things work. That's all. That's all that failure is. And that, let me tell you, this is what Thomas Edison had once said. That he's failed a million times. That's what people think. But according to him, he just found a million ways that don't make things work. So in life, don't worry about failure. It doesn't work. There's nothing called failure. It is just you stumbling on ways that don't make things work. And imagine this, that as you keep stumbling onto ways that don't make things work, your probability ratio of making things work is going to get sharper, stronger, and better. So this is what I learned in my world of sports. Hey, why don't you share what you learned in your life from instances like this? Please write it out all down in the comment box or whatever below, and let me go through it. Let's all hear about it. And yes, if you want to reach out to me, if you want some one-on-ones with me, please type in your email ID and let's traverse a journey of inspiring together. So thank you so much for being here today. See you soon. Celebrate life. Celebrate being you.